What's happening? What's going on? And look, I finally got that thing to work, that Twidget thing. I seen Rich Chili right there waiting. Appreciate it, man. Thanks for having something on here so I could work with it. Anyway, what's happening? What's going on? K-Mega 405 coming to you live from the 405 where I'm just your regular gamer talking to the intelligent gamers out there. Man. I don't know. And so Richili, as he says, I'm an analyst myself, and I have analyzed that analysts are wrong 95% of the time. An average Joe in the streets is more knowledgeable. That's pretty accurate, brother. That's pretty damn accurate. I'll give you that. But anyway, what's going on? What's happening? Yes. Another of my thoughts. I will do Fight Night tonight. I didn't do it Sunday. Man, I'm sorry. I didn't. I did it. I did do Fight Night Friday though. I did Fight Night Friday, and I didn't do it. I had an early doctor's appointment. I don't have a doctor's appointment for a very long time, and usually when I have doctor's appointments, it's usually on Mondays, and they're usually early. So I was like, if I do Fight Night, I'm gonna stay up, and I'm gonna be late, or I'm going to be very, 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 very droggy. So therefore, I didn't do it. And last night I was watching the national championship, and I was watching a lot of NBA too. So it was yeah. Anyway, so sports. But yeah, no, and so since I didn't have Fight Night, I did play some Call of Duty for a little bit. Had a good time with that. I sat there and got up on some. I got a new upgrade on my internet, and it's like 2 gig. And so I wanted to test it out. I've been telling people that I was going to, let people know what I thought, if there was any improvement or anything like that in that nature. And yeah, no, it's actually pretty damn good. I have seen some much needed results. The one thing though is that if you do upgrade, and I'm going through Cox Communications or Comcast, for some people out there that's not in, I guess in the region to where it's called Cox Communications, you would need a 2 gig cord. Well, I can't think of the name of the cord right now, but I want to say USB, but it's not a USB. But the cord to go from your router to your modem, or from your router to your Xbox, or whatever the case may be, you need a 2 gigabyte, or to your PlayStation, to your whatever. But it's so you can get full access of what it offers, and more so it's just like what the guy told me. He said it's not so much about, you do get, you can do, when you do those tests, you get you'll see that it's higher. It's not as high as kind of like what they advertise, but it's the thing that benefits the most is the ping and your upload. And your upload, it did go up. It did go up about maybe 25% and it also, and my pings have dropped dramatically. So like, in some plays when I was playing COD, or I was playing Tekken, I would have pings that was in the 70s, I would be in the 60s. And then now I had, when I was playing COD for not all day, but for a couple of hours today, it was like the lowest was like 23, the highest was 27. So that, and I was playing Tekken this weekend, I was having really good pings too. That was in the 40s, and in the 50s, and some that was in the 30s. So it was good stuff. So I definitely recommend it if you're looking to want to get a little bit more bang for your buck. It wasn't that much more expensive. It was only like $8 more. So I don't know what it varies in different situations, but I just wanted to let you guys know about it because I got it and I'm very pleased with it. I'm definitely pleased with it. So anyway, let's get to it. Let's talk about this stuff. First thing I want to talk about is this right here. This is wild to me. This is so wild to me. I don't know, man. Every time that you think that the video gaming, industry seems to get it, this is the type of stuff that hit it. And I said this for a long time. I've said this for years. I made a old school long video when I was making videos like that. Was talking about once these corporate and I understand that like video game is always dealing with corporate, because they're publishers and things like that. But once it got real full coverage, when it got mainstream and it started to, and everybody started to really see how gaming it benefits and how much money that it makes in entertainment business, that you would have this type of stuff going on. And it never fails. It never fails. But anyway, so this was where it says the video game industry analyst said that there is hope in the games industry that GTA 6 could cost up to $100 so that other companies could raise their default prices as well. We've heard this rumor. We've even heard it when it was with PlayStation talking about maybe that they would want to go and raise a game up to $80. I've said this, there are only a few games that can get $100 or say $80 to $100 standard. Grand Theft Auto is one of those games. I would say that for the diehard NBA 2K fan, they would pay $80. They would pay another extra $10 than what they pay for the 70. I would say for the diehard Call of Duty fan, they would pay $80. It's not that many. It's not that many. And the sad thing about it is that when we keep hearing about what's going on with you, Ocular fan. We keep hearing about, well, this, that, and the third. Well, these companies is trying to do this. These companies are trying to do that. Listen, man, the reality is this. You will kill the gaming industry in a heartbeat by trying to come out with a game like, let's just say, the first Berserker Kazan, or Kazan First Berserker, however you say it, and have this type of stuff. Grand Theft Auto is in its own lane. I think it's the number one all-time selling game. So it's something that resonates with that. I could see even maybe like a Red Dead Redemption 3 or something like that, a Mass Effect. If it was $80 to $100. But it's very, very few games. And what you're doing is that you're killing the market from creativity, for greed. That would be an absolute fail on every level if you did something like that. It would be an absolute fail. It wouldn't make any sense. It's ridiculous. Like it's crazy. Like, I mean, just think about this for a second. Let's say that okay, so the Dynasty Warriors Origin dropped and it's $80 to $100 standard. Nobody ain't buying that except for the diehards that would want it, and we're talking about a small number. Like the game has got a very good ratings. It's a game that I'm looking at, and I'm not getting it because I don't like the price range of it right now. I want it to go down a little bit, and then I'll go ahead and I'll pick it up later. But I'm not picking it up at $70. I'm just not. So just not. And there's plenty of other gamers that feel the same way that I do. Plenty of gamers that feel the same way that I do. Ocular fan is saying they milk the shit out of the SGA 5. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It can get away with this. It can get away with being $80 to $100 game. It can get away with it. It can do it. But what you're doing is you're hurting the rest of the industry by being greedy, and it's not going to work for them. It's not going to work for them. Avowed being $70, if it you know what I'm saying, I think is a problem for itself. I mean, Game Pass alleviates a lot of stuff. And see, again, this is why we go back to, especially us that are fans of Game Pass and just games as a service, is that this is the way to go. If you're going to go, if the gaming industry is really going to try to make this move, and also because of the politics with it, with the tariffs and all that other stuff, which really don't really make sense if you would raise prices on games that are digital. I can understand on physical games, it will almost be non-existent, because if you have physical games coming out there and those games have tariffs on them, that they ain't moving. They're not moving. There will be a lot of people that will think twice. So Digital, it wouldn't really make sense. And so the only reason why you're making it more expensive is just because. Um, I yeah, no, I think that it should get back to the way that it used to be back in the 90s, where where games, regular games, should be anywhere from 50, $60. And then if there's those special games, then yeah, like a call, like a and I wouldn't even recommend Call of Duty being going any higher than what it is. I wouldn't. But for Grand Theft Auto to say we'll do $80 or $80 to $100 for the game, it's gonna sell. It's still gonna sell like crazy. But then this adds more incentive. They have, the gaming companies have to come out with a better incentive than just saying, here's the standard game. And also they got to be held accountable even more for how they would bring their games, how they would present their games at launch. Like they would try to rush these games out, and then these games are broken. And you're talking, it's already bad enough when it's $70. If you're talking about $100, $80 we're talking ridiculous money to pay for one game, and then you're expecting gamers to still be satisfied with waiting for patches for games to get it. You'll just cause more of an uproar. Like I don't know, these gamer industry analysts, they're on some true bullshit. It don't really matter. It's really crazy. Let's see, the price is going down 40 again. The Dynasty Warriors, I mean, it's on Green Man Gaming. So is it going down? I mean, okay, so if it's 40, I'm copping it probably tonight. I'll probably cop it tonight. So I'm because I was looking, well, yeah, I'll cop it tonight. Because I got Final Fantasy Rebirth for the $40. I was going to get the 50, but I was just like, man, do I really care that much for a Chocobo material? Do I really care about that? And I mean, it'll be a little extra something in there, I'm sure, if I really wanted the little deluxe edition stuff or whatever. And so I went ahead and picked that up for $40. And so yeah, I'm looking forward to playing that Thursday. Yeah, Thursday's going to be a fun day. I mean, because there's going to be the direct. And then Final Fantasy drops, the Rebirth drops, and then if Origin is $40 right now, then I'm on it because I just was looking at it last night and it was $65 cheap for the cheapest versions. So I was like, nah, I ain't doing that, Jack. I ain't having that happen. But I'm hearing really good things about Origin. But yeah, let me see, 100%. No, I say saying $100 is nothing for GTA because it's maybe the last GTA they will release in our lifetime. It will be a very, 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 very long time before we see another GTA. So yeah, I that's what I'm saying. GTA can get away with it. That's it. NBA couldn't keep doing it. NBA would have to implement. See, for them to do the $100 thing, right? They would have to just kind of throw in the NBA League Pass at $100 standard. That's what NBA 2K would have to do. They would have to lose money in a sense, right? So it just doesn't, because you would have diehards, but you would lose sales like crazy. And like I said, and I know that there's, and I have seen, so like just like the one game, Expedition 33 really look, proper price. We're talking about $50. That I'm not complaining about that. That's a game that I could get day one. I could rock that. So and listen, and when you buy a game that's in that $40 to $60 range, that's where, to me, is where the line is drawn between time. I'm not really worried about the time frame of how long I'm going to be playing that game, in the sense of for Hellblade 2, right? Hellblade 2 is anywhere from 6 to, I would say, 15 hours. It's according to how you play it, things like that, how long you get stuck into, how far you get stuck into the puzzles, whatever, right? But for the price, I'm not complaining about it. When you're looking at a game like, let's say, Assassin's Creed or something like that, and it's going to be $70. Well, I know I'm going to get my money's worth with the game being $70, but I'm getting the Shut the Hell Up edition for Assassin's Creed, so I'm not really tripping about that too much. But that's the thing for me, is where I I value my dollar going longer with games. It just the longer the more I can put into that game. If I'm putting 100+ hours, I wouldn't mind it, but again, it still just leaves a bad taste in my mouth to say pause, just to think about the fact that I'm paying more than $60 for a standard game. But I still, like I said, I still work around it. I just don't like it. But when you're talking about prices like this is ridiculous. There's nothing logical behind it. It's only greed. That's it. There's nothing. What's going on with your Viper? It's nothing logical behind it. It's pretty much a weird situation to where yeah, it's just greed. I don't like it at all. I don't like it whatsoever. I just can't stand it. Let's see. What it said, Richilli said 10 extra for a chocobo. The mod for Tifa chocobo will be free. What? Juma Kupu? Is that what you said? I don't even, is that another chocobo? Is that some kind of special? What the hell is that? I don't know. Okay. All right. Well, it's free. That's fine. Okay, but that's what I'm saying. I was going to get the $50 version, but I was like, no. But they do have, if you do not have if you don't have both games, they have a really good deal on PC for both of them together for like $57. Like, that's a really good deal. So if you were interested in wanting to get both at the same time, that would be. I think that's the way to go. For $57, you can't go wrong with that. But for Rebirth to be $40. Yeah, that's why I said I wait. I ain't tripping about it. So it is what it is. Ocular Fan said if they fix the story mode issues in GTA 6, since those issues are still in GTA 5, I'll buy it and play it. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, the game has to. You asking for a bill, for a full $100 bill. There's a lot that you can do with $100, and I know that the $100 gets stretched pretty thin these days. But you can still do a lot with $100 compared to just putting it down for one video game. That like, again, Ultimate. These are the type of games that's, like I'm saying, like I'm putting in when I buy these Ultimate Editions for a story mode game. Those type of things, I know that I'm going to be putting in 300, 400, 500 hours in those games. That to me is worth the money. I'm fine with that. Like, because that's months and months, maybe even years. It's according to how I play it. Now, sometimes if I'm really, really involved into the game, which I think I will be involved pretty crazy into Assassin's Creed, where I'm almost in that mode where just leave me alone. So I might probably need to stream it. So because I might not be doing a lot of content, just playing the hell out of that game. I don't mind paying that type of money, but me going to pay, just like with my fighters, for the fighters out there, I know that they still got the seasons pass and you got to pay extra for those and this and that. But those games, you played them for years. You could play them for decades. So the thing to me is where it's not all fighters, but the well-known fighters you can play for decades. But that's just the thing for me, is like the longevity of how much time am I putting in on this game. And to me, Grand Theft Auto, you got people that's still playing it like crazy. I don't know. I haven't seen the Steam numbers and stuff like that for it, but people are still buying it. It's still in the top 10. It doesn't make any sense that game is always in the top 10 in some way, shape, or form, some capacity. People keep buying those shark cards or whatever. So, or just rebuying the game for whatever reason. So that to me is where the win is for that particular game. But it's very few games that can go ahead and take that $100 and that can have the audacity to ask you to pay them $80 to $100 for a standard game. And once GTA comes out, I wouldn't be surprised if Sony and EA try to pull it off. Because if EA try to do it with Mass Effect, there's a lot of Mass Effect people out there that would complain, but I know that they would pick it up. PlayStation gamers, though, that's the big question. Would they? And then after that, of course, if it comes out to be successful enough to where they make a little bit more money or around they would if they didn't, they wouldn't make wouldn't have as many sold, but if they make around the type of money that they would if it wasn't, if that $10 less, which I don't know how that would make sense, but if it did, then Microsoft would make that move. And then the rest of the industry would make that move. And at that point, gaming would be dead. Gaming would die because there would be only copycat games of a Grand Theft Auto, of the games that are popular, and any type of innovation would just kind of fall to the wayside. And then you would have companies that would risk it all and try to undercut. And then if this still doesn't work, because gamers don't trust the industry, we already have that issue now. So it would doom the gaming industry, in my opinion. It would doom it. That just if you're gonna make this type of move, then there only should be a few games that could do that. I know that I kind of keep repeating myself, but it's just the more and more I just keep trying to think of there's the only rational thing to do if the industry is going to try to make this move, then there's only a few games that can do it. Not everybody. It just isn't smart. Just isn't smart. My boy Viper said he's off work today and doing some school work. Oh, good. I hope you had a good. Hope a lot of people was off yesterday. Had a good time enjoying Martin Luther King Day. If not, then I hope you had a good Monday. Whatever, you know what I'm saying. So, got a lot of sports in. It's good stuff. Let's see what we're going here with what Chili is talking about. He says, for now, I'm more excited for Antigua and Antifa over GTA 6. Those Chinese literally copied the GTA trailer, rolling on the floor laughing. Listen, the Chinese companies, the Chinese game companies out here are cooking. They're cooking right now. They're cooking. Them and also what they're doing out there in the Philippines and stuff like that. Like they're really, really coming in with some hot stuff. So I'm loving that. Like, as you see this little game over here, the Ninja 5.0 is not something that I would pick up because it's 8-bit and I'm over that era. It's got to be a game that really, really, really gravitates to me. But I'm glad that the ninjas and hack and slashes are coming back. I'm really happy about that. That really makes me excited because, the Souls game era, I hope that kind of wanes down. And then we get into the hack and slash and we get a bunch of hack and slash. And then if you want to get back into the Souls, then that's fine too. But I think now it should be back into like the ninjas, the samurais, all that type of, all these different type of games like that. Like it seems like we're going through a phase. Like we was having a phase right there where there were and I would like to see, more cowboy games come back too. Like I was just thinking about that too. I was like, there was a phase back during the 360 PlayStation 3 that there was a lot of cowboy games. And then, I thought that they were going to start the trend again, but then you just didn't see anything after Red Dead Redemption 2. I mean, that's a hard act to follow, but I would like to see like a lot of Western type of games come back like that, so I could draw up on some people, tell a dirty varmint to get this lead. I like to get that too. I like to see some games like that to come back. I think that would be really cool. Let's see. It says, yes, the PlayStation gamer love price increase games, shutting down studio, shutting down. So yes, the PlayStation gamers would. No, they would not. Listen, they would love to talk about it because if you got this high price game, then you make it sound like that they have a lot of quality, that the games is quality. And I'm not saying that the games aren't quality, but they're not. There were people that were saying that Spider-Man 2 wasn't worth the price. So how is it that there's going to be people that's going to say that the game's going to be even more worth the price if it's $10 more, or if we're talking about $30 more at $100? Nah, man. PlayStation fans ain't going to work. They ain't going to do that. They're not going to do that. They only just buy what they buy, and that'll be those few games. They'll be playing a lot more free to plays. And that's another thing too. The gaming market, for anybody that gets out here and that they'll salute this or say that this is a smart move, they're going to contradict themselves because they are usually the same people that sit there and say that they hate free to play games. They feel that free to play games and games as a service are cancer to the gaming universe, stratosphere. So therefore, what you're going to do is you're going to have more developers just go that route. Because if they know that they can't go ahead, if they're going to try to make a decent budget game, the best way for them to do is to make a live service game. I mean, that's just the smart way to go. And trying to put your faith into going and putting in a really good single player game and then asking for what would be probably the new standard price of $70 or $80, then it ain't popping. It ain't popping. And if it's $100, then it damn sure ain't popping. New IPs will die on a vine. So unless they're free to play, that's it. That's it. So live service will still be king. It's just that simple. Viper said, I did not enjoy MLK because of the inauguration. He said the contrast, gloating, and the racism was overwhelming. Brother, I could talk all night about my thoughts about the inauguration and everything, but this is me talking about gaming, so I'll leave it be. But yeah, no, I didn't watch the inauguration. Like I said, I watched sports. So it's, for people who did watch it and that were excited about who got elected, then, kudos to you, for you participating in voting. I think everybody should now really pay attention to voting. It's very, very important. So, but for the people who got the person in that they wanted in, congratulations. We'll see how this all plays out at the end. So let's leave it at that. Let's see. Other than that, my last point on this, and then I'll move on. When you do, I don't know. Let me go ahead and hit this article. Let me see what else they're gonna say in here. Let's see. Okay, so it's still having it planned to be released. I don't know if Grand Theft Auto is going to come out in 2025. If it does, that's going to be great. I will be looking forward to playing it. But I mean, Take-Two, yes, they were the ones to jump in and raise the price of their games from 60 to 70 in 2020. Yes, they were. They were the first ones to do it. But I mean, okay, but yeah, it's just a thing. No thanks. But it's right here. This is the thing right here that where everybody's gonna sit here and make this point, and that is the game budgets have exploded in recent years. Expectations has grown to how much content is included in the game. However, in response to this, video game prices have stayed largely stagnant outside of the recent $10 bump. Now, see, listen to that BS. Listen to that. It changed in 2020. It's raised up $10. Gaming gaming sales, except for some when you look at the top 10 and when you look at these numbers is down. It's only for certain games. It's not every game. It's only certain games. So this is this thing to try to make you feel like, oh man. Well, see, this company put in, we're putting in all this, and I understand about the demand, the cost, and all of that. But advertising has been lousy because they cut back on advertising. So just make more cutbacks on stuff, unless the thing of it is that I get it. Gamers want all the bells and whistles. They want the voice acting. I said this last week. They want the voice acting to be proper. They want the proper voice. They want the best of the best when it comes to the voice acting. They want the best animations. They want the best this. They want the grass to wave and sweat. I get all that, right? It's a big demand for this. But you keep on trying to ask and say, well, the budgets are so high, we got to sit there and raise more price. You're gonna just. Look at what happened to PlayStation, to a lot of the PlayStation games. Look at what's happened to some of the Xbox games. It's one of these things to where just games in general. Anytime you asking for more money for something and it comes out broken, it doesn't come out, or, especially if it doesn't meet the expectation of what that particular gamer is, or let's just say that it's a big time content creator or someone of that nature, or some media personality, gaming media personality, and then they get out there and they rail on the game and they disrespect it and they talk bad about it. The way that the culture is today is that they've already sit there and given a stigmatized that game and offer nothing. And you raising prices, it's only going to make it worse. That's what I'm saying, man. Like the gaming industry, what this part said, what this paragraph right there, what it failed to say is that when gaming was just $60 for all these years, gaming was thriving. Now I understand that the budgets is expensive and things like that. So then we get back to what? Less of the QT stuff and more into the innovation. I mean, it's not like this can't be done. You know, I mean, you still have ray tracing and all the bells and whistles and make the game look great, but maybe you don't have to have that certain voice actor, or maybe you might look and find new voice actors for voice actors, or you know, have cheaper setups where you can do the mocap and things like that. I mean, really, it's just like for a lot of people love those movies that's produced by what, A24, I think that's what that production company is called. And those movies don't have really crazy huge budgets, right? So it's like, you know, because they make really crazy creative stuff and they hit. Games still can do that. It's like it's you know what I'm saying? Like it's, see, this is the thing too, is where I appreciate Sony doing it, but I also look at it as now we're looking at it as being harmful to the consumers because they want to make games very movie quality like, and that's great. I like that with story games. Yes, it's wonderful, right? But if you got to sit there and you want to milk the gamer for more and more money because you're saying that, well, this budget is, I say you only do that for the games that you know that's gonna sell and gonna generate. You know, for new IPs, I said this before, that new IPs needs to start off slow, not have those big crazy budgets, and then fall into place and be at $60 or less. Do not sit there and bring a brand new IP and charge $70. Because it for most of these single player games out there, they don't work out. Hell, a lot of some co-op and live service games don't work out. Look at what happened with Concord. I mean, the price that they were asking for Concord was ridiculous. Concord should have been cheaper than that. Concord is like, and that's a whole nother discussion for a whole nother day. But I'm just looking at this and I'm just saying, look, man, this excuse here, I'm not buying. We understand that the budgets are crazy, but those budgets are for those big budget games that come out there. And I understand that maybe there's some studios that want to knock it out of the park and maybe have their Mass Effect or maybe have their whatever gaming moment to where they can sit there and have a growing franchise, but just start off slow. Start off to where it's, you know what I'm saying, the game is getting loved for its innovation more so than, I mean, because this is the perfect point. Callisto Protocol. Beautiful game. Oh my God, production, man, game looks solid, all that, right? Man, bro, it's one of these things to me is where, like, this is what Callisto Protocol, if it was a little, if it didn't have the crazy budget, it might have thrived. It might have could have said all it needed was just to be good enough to where it could get a sequel to where it could grow to be a franchise. So it don't have to have these real crazy big ballooning. You can, and if the game is that good, if the game gets to that, then you could consider raising it up to $70 to the standard. But new IPs, I think for what the studio, with Sandland Studio, Sandland is very smart for making Expedition 33 $50. I think that's the new strategy. I think that's how the way to win and to have new IPs thrive, in my opinion, especially single player IPs. Read this. Viper said $100 is outrageous for a game. Are we now going into Neo Geo price territory? Brother, that's what I'm saying. Like, Gamers aren't going to do this, man. Gamers is not going to do it. It's not going to happen. It's not. It's not going to happen, Jack. They aren't going to do this. They're not going to allow themselves. Oh, uh, no, they're not going to do that, man. They're just not. That's crazy. That's crazy to sit there and to think about that they would um, do something like that. That would be nuts. That would be really nuts. Trying to change up for put some gameplay back here too. But I'm finna show something else here in a second. But I just was I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just too much money. It's too much money. What was said right here? It said Richie said PlayStation fans will buy GTA 6 for $150 because they no. That's what I'm saying. Like $100 ain't gonna hurt. I mean, GTA can do it. That's what I'm saying. Like I'm not trying to say that their sales numbers is not going to go down because yeah, most people will buy the Ultimate Edition, which will be more than $100. So GTA will be fine. And there's a few other games that can get away with it, but no, but it's just that we're stepping into a territory that's really dangerous, and especially in time where hmm, people are people are looking at things real suspect when it comes to the prices of stuff. So like and you know we'll see if these things go down, but not if there's tariffs. It won't. So I just don't. I don't see all this. I don't see how this. I can see how this benefits the gaming industry in the long run. It only lays pockets for the greed and for the greedy. That's it. And so look, a game like Grand Theft Auto, if they feel like the game is worth that much, that's fine. The market will dictate it, and most likely people will buy the game. Will buy the 100. Will buy most likely the ultimate editions or the $100 if they went standard. But that damn shit ain't gonna happen for a game like Avowed. That ain't gonna happen for a game like Dynasty Warriors Origins. That ain't gonna happen for a Square Enix game. That any Square Enix game. I haven't seen anybody over here touting that Square Enix needs to when they make the next Final Fantasy or Kingdom Hearts that people will be paying $100 for standard for the Kingdom Hearts. Will there be a fan base that would do it? Yes, but it ain't going to be that many. It ain't going to be that many compared to when somebody would if that game was $60, that game would fly off the shelves. So it's just so when you say that $10 is just a little $10 bump. Well, technically, it's a less. You know what I'm saying? That $60, you sold more copies, and that looked good on the bottom line. Then and it made to me more money. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. I do not know. Let's see. 18 first party Sony games. That was sorry. 18 first party Sony games that some were officially announced, some were not announced, but were in development, have been officially. Oh yeah, no, I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about that Oculus. I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about that. That's what I'm going to be talking about when I talk about exclusives. How my thought process is about that. So yeah, no, that's a little different to me. I'm definitely going to be bringing that part up. But yeah, so I'm finna just gonna get off of this. This is kind of crazy to me though. $100 price tag for a game is nuts. See. Oh no. I know where it's at now. It's somewhere else. Let's see. Where you at? Just show the whole Berserker content that I got from I posted before. Should have had that in there, but I was in a hurry. Something else. Anyway, so next thing I want to talk about, hold on, let me I'm trying to do 5 things at once. Try to do this right. Oh, no wonder. I'm looking at something. If take this out. Take this. Oh man, this right here had me hot. Had me real hot. Oh, this had me hot. Okay, here we go. All right. So this right here. And so when I labeled it like this, is saying that the gaming media is failing gamers. The first thing is what's going to come to mind to certain people is this thing right here. Okay, so let me remove this right here. If you can see it. I refuse to play Indiana Jones until it comes to the PlayStation 5. So this guy here, Andrew King, his whole thing, his main reason of why he will not buy, that he will not play, there's two reasons. There's two reasons. His main two reasons is the one is because he doesn't own. Now, mind you, he is a journalist. Andrew King is an editor. He's a journalist. He for this. No, he paid for this. He gets paid for this. Back to this though. And so the one reason is that he's talking about that he doesn't own an Xbox. That's a red flag in its own self. The other one is because, well, Xbox is exclusives. Their strategy with the exclusive. This is what I don't want. This is why I don't own an Xbox, and this is why. Hold up. This is why this is a mistake. This is why this is bullshit. Straight bullshit. Xbox just started making this move just last year, buddy. Now, if you want to talk about what Xbox's strategy was when they went and tried to do this stuff, when putting games on PC back in 2016, but that's not what you said in this article. This is what you're saying is that your main two gripes is because one, you do not own an Xbox, and two, the exclusive rights that he does. And so then also, and this other third thing is that he has a PlayStation Pro, and he knows that Indiana Jones will play better on the PlayStation Pro than the Series X. Well, I mean, we have seen to where there's games that have not. It's done somewhat better, but some games has been actually on par, and maybe that some games the Series X is outdid the PlayStation Pro. But again, that's neither here nor there. That part, I'm not even tripping about that. That like if he just made it that. Then I would have been like, okay, he got a PlayStation Pro, he paid $700+ for it, or if he got the $1,000 version, then that's fine, whatever. But okay, I get that. But to make the reason about Xbox's approach and then come about saying that as an editor, as a person who gets paid to talk about video games, you don't have the big three. You don't have all three consoles. That shit to me is egregious. It is the reason why the gaming media is dying. It's not growing, it's dying, ladies and gentlemen. Content creators has gotten out here and is kicking the hell out of the gaming media. The gaming media knows it, and that's why some of y'all known personalities are bailing out and they're starting their own channels. Also, another thing is that Sony, a former Sony exec is in charge of the platform that owns most of, if not all, of the gaming media at IGN, with all the things underneath it, underneath IGN. So now, of course, you would say, well, why would PlayStation gamers be concerned about negative ads about Xbox? Twofold. This is a reason why I say that the gaming media failing gamers, not just Xbox gamers, but gamers. The stuff that's going on with what's happening with Sony right now, right? The whole situation, which I'll get into that after this, but just do a little tidbit of this about saying when a studio is working on games and then they find out that they're no longer working on the game from an article. Now, again, I believe that that's still speculation. I don't know if that's true or not, but it's been out here in the ether, so therefore I'm going to use this. And then you still, on the flip side, still talk about how everything on PlayStation is hunky-dory. Nothing's fine. They're selling 5-1. That's the most important thing that you need to worry about. Not about, they just sit there and just did a whole crew of people and laid off a bunch of people and shut down studios and so forth, and don't want to talk about leaks and things of that nature for one brand, but right here come up with some bullshit like this to say, I refuse to play Indiana Jones until it comes to PlayStation 5. Now I understand it's a clickbait title, but it's still, but the hell, when you read through it, it's garbage. He's caring about exclusives when PlayStation is losing exclusives. So your mind, which one is it? And then when you say that you didn't want to get an Xbox is because of their strategy, the strategy just started last year. Why was you not having an Xbox Series S or X? It's not like I needed you to get you could have got the S. I mean, I'm sure that you could have got a deal. I mean, hell, you're an editor. You're in the industry. You know somebody. I'm sure somebody could hook you up. I'm sure if you went to Aaron or somebody and say, look, man, you know what? I would really like, but man, money's tight, whatever. I'm sure that they would have gave you an Xbox. Just on GP. But again, you didn't like Xbox strategy last year, but you didn't have an Xbox when Xbox came out in 2020. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? What is the goddamn media over here doing? This is garbage. This is smut. See, and this is happening to all media all around. Like, you know what I'm saying? People know my affiliation. I am a Democrat. I'm a liberal. I don't care. I don't care if you like me or not when it comes to my politics. But my thing is that I do my research. I have arguments all the time when I talk about political stuff on social media. And the thing of it is, and it doesn't matter if it's right-wing politics, left-wing politics, gaming, whatever the case, right? I follow up with research. I'm not going to sit here and just say something off the bat. And if I'm wrong about something, I have no problem with being a man about what I got to say and being wrong. Like, oh, shit, I was wrong. Cool. But these people get out here, get on their high horse and talking about and talk down on the content creators and saying, listen, we believe in media and journalism, and you give up pieces like this as though this is good for gaming. Let Xbox die. I know that there will be some stands out there that would love it to death to talk about it, but wait till what PlayStation and Nintendo is going to do to your ass. Let PlayStation die. Let Nintendo and PlayStation die and leave you with Xbox. We'll still have Game Pass, but how much will we be paying for Game Pass? We have to get to a point to get back to where it is our decision to make it's our choice to make the decisions on what we like and what we don't. The gaming media has been on this kick ever since 2012, 2013 for sure. When I can remember watching Rev Games, and when after if people can remember where they had the girl Tara on there, and Adam Sessler was on there, and there was a couple of, and then there was the one blonde that talked about science that everybody talked about because she had big boobs or whatever. But regardless of that, right? Like I used to watch Rev Games all the time, and then I stopped. There was this one guy, this one dude with glasses, and they used to have this one thing like usually on Fridays where they would all have like a little like talk. They would talk about certain things that happened through the week or whatever the case may be. And the dude sit there and was like, listen, I'm a PC gamer. I don't like Xbox. I don't want an Xbox. I think Xbox is garbage. And everybody looked at him like, damn, bro, we know that you know that this, we know how you feel, but why would you say this in the public? Everybody looked at him crazy. That right there let me know. And then I was explaining, of course, there was people that was in the chat that complained. But there was those people that sit there and just, yay, that's what I want to hear. I hate Xbox too. I did, and it just seemed to resonate more and more to why you should hate Xbox for what? Providing games? Being competition to PlayStation? And that's how the media has been ever since. Started with Angry Joe. I know it started with more people, but it started with Angry Joe, where he was the ass kisser of the 360. But then they shunned him because he was disrespectful to Larry Herb, or Larry Herb didn't like how he interviewed him, or whatever the case may was. But I don't know. And then here he goes. He's a PlayStation dude, and this, that. When he's always been nothing but a PC guy, first and foremost. Content creators, it's different. We're opinion guys. I mean, listen, I sit there and will put some stuff that's factual, but I still give my opinion. I can sit there and I can tell you, like, hell, well, if I say something like, well, PlayStation ain't gonna be here for, and I say in 5 years, PlayStation is gonna go belly up. That's an opinion. That ain't a fact. I don't have no factual evidence of that PlayStation is gonna go away in 5 years. Am I saying PlayStation is in trouble? Hell yeah, they are. But I don't think they're going to go away in 5 years. It's different with a content creator because, yes, people that listen and follow, they know that there is there's opinions on top of this. There's our thoughts that come in here and people want to hear and interact and stuff like that. But when we got journalists, editors, people who work in the gaming industry and get paid by this, get paid to give you write a headline like this and give you an explanation of the reasoning, and it makes no damn sense of why it is. Bro, just say that. I mean, what is this? What is this? This is why y'all gonna fail. This is where it's all over. This is where it's over for y'all. I mean, we've been seeing the writing on the wall for a long time, but this right here, like, keep making this stuff, man, because this is only the more nail in the coffin for the gaming media. Y'all keep losing people. People keep leaving. People ain't watching. They ain't paying attention anymore like they used to. And you're thinking that you can sit there and act like a content creator, but then yet you're a journalist, you get paid, and then yet what's crazy is that, and them them journalists looked at a lot of us content creators as though we were shit. We were nothing to them. When we would sit there and maybe fan out and say, "Oh my goodness, how you doing?" on some of the people, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. I think I talked to 2 people, and they were cordial, they were cool, no problem, no issues, whatever. But like, there were some people that I seen that went up to a couple of other people and gave them the card, sit there and said, "Look, I would like to, hey, maybe have an interview if I could," and instead of just sitting there just being, just be real with the people. It's like, "Man, I would like to do it, but I just can't." They would sit there and smile for their face and then walk off and throw their card in the trash right when them people would walk off. And then go into the little huddle where they were and go laugh at the content creators that's out here doing the work. But they don't have to do as much work because they got other people doing the work for them. And I'm not saying that journalists don't do hard work. I'm not saying that. They do. And they deserve to get paid for their craft. But this right here, this is when you can tell that this is the beginning of the end, or the middle of the end. Because when you keep constantly seeing stuff like this, and then we're giving real journalism of going after everything like it used to be, or being over positive like everything used to be as well, but the gamers make the decisions. Like, that's what I loved about the gaming era back in the days, of like when media would sit there and give you 3 choices. They would write down the pros, they would write down the cons, and then they would say, that's it. It would end like that. You decide. But as gamers, we win. That's how it used to be. Now it's like, I'm going to decide for you because me personally, I don't really like this device. And therefore, I think that I should go ahead and throw a little bit more shade in it so I can see the other device do better. And put at least a little bit of something in that other person that may be a fan of the other device. Make them think that maybe they might need to reconsider. What is that? I don't know. If you think that I'm overreacting, guys, please let me know in the chat. I think this is just, I got hot. Bro, I saw this and it got hot, like burning hot. I just think that it's not fair for the hard work that these companies do, that these developers do, for the people that work on that. It adds more. Listen, man, I'm surprised Phil Spencer's hair isn't jet white. Like all this stuff that they've been jumping on Xbox for has been nutty. Some things definitely worth sitting there talking about and getting and ripping Xbox for, because Xbox done some stupid stuff. There's no question. But then when you see something that PlayStation does and you do not give them the same benefit of the doubt like you did Xbox or Nintendo can't do nothing. They would refuse to talk about how the games that for Nintendo were not working properly. I had to find out from people who bought those games, and then I seen it in Reddit, or if I seen it in other spaces where people are just talking about gaming, how upset they were about the Pokemon games, or how they were upset about the couple of other games that just didn't work right, didn't work properly. It wasn't the stamp of approval that Nintendo would usually do with their games. Even if those games were made by some other entity outside of Nintendo, Nintendo would still make sure that those games would work right. Or just for the main fact of, listen, the last Zelda game, fantastic game, but hey, this game ain't running properly. And if you might get an article here or there, and then it's gone. Why is it that we still sit here and we have people talking about Starfield to this day? Starfield is now brought up again that it's supposed to be going to the Switch. Haven't they been talking about Starfield? Once you sit there and you keep saying that Starfield is gone, and this is the funny thing about the media, because they'll keep saying it, and then when a couple of games do make it over or something of that nature, I told you, well, it wasn't the game, it wasn't all the list of games that you said in the beginning. And you said that these games would be coming out for Sony and they were all looking great. They were playing great, looking good. They looked like there was a hell of a schedule, and they're canceled. What are you talking about? You ain't batting 1,000. So I don't know, man. It's pretty crazy to me. What up, Yobi? He said they're making excuses. They can easily go on Facebook Marketplace and find the Series X for dirt. Bro, that's what I'm saying. It is disgusting. It's appalling to me. It's the fact. It's somebody would say, "Oh, see, you upset because it's not on it's not positive Xbox." No, it's the thing. It's just not. Listen, the leak thing bothered me more than this. The place that the Insomniac leaks really bothered me. Because for all the leaks that was coming out there, and then the media just decided the gaming media decided to say, nah, we want to respect the people at Insomniac. You didn't respect the people at Valve. You didn't respect the people at Xbox. You didn't respect the people at EA. You didn't respect Ubisoft. You ain't respect. So you're gonna you did it. And this is where it comes down to, and this is where you got to go do your research. You didn't have that same respect when you went after and did your job with what was going on with The Last of Us, with all of that information that came out of them leaks. Didn't have that respect then, but then you know what? We know where your toast is buttered. That's why you go and you do your research and see why the gaming media caters the way that they do. And that's my whole point about this, is that, listen, I mean, this isn't just a gaming media thing. This is a media thing all across the board. We're getting to where we're getting more opinions and then more misinformation straight up the damn lying. And people ain't doing their research. They ain't doing their research. And that's the only way for us to get to a point to where we can get back to where the media does what it's supposed to do all across the world. I'm not saying that there's not good media, there's not good journalists and good media people out there that still do the good work and let people decide. They tell the story and then they do it regardless of their affiliation. But for the most part, for what we've been getting here, has been a lot of this type of garbage here, and it's inexcusable. I'm so disappointed. I don't know this gentleman, but I'm just like, bro, like you should be embarrassed for saying that you get paid to be a journalist talking about gaming, but then have the audacity to say in this article that you don't own an Xbox, but yet you refuse to play Indiana Jones until it comes to the PS5. I mean, that it's so blatant. Like, I don't know. Like I said, I read through some of it, and then when he got to certain parts, I was like, I'm through. There ain't nothing else to read. Like, there's you can't even smooth it out when you act like this. You just can't. So it's pretty goddamn disgusting in my opinion. It really is. It really makes me mad. He said, man, listen. Oh yeah, I just read that. Oh yeah, no, he said. Oh no, oh he's okay. So he said again. He says the marketplace has been my best friend for the last few years. I'm thinking. I got something blocking it, so I can't see what that is. He says, up the something. I guess he's looking up the Stream Deck soon, or he's going to be picking up the Stream Deck soon. He says the 1 terabyte for $200. You can't beat that. That's a steal, brand new. See, that's the thing. Like, there's so many like Xbox will give him a free one. There's no question about this. Like he could ask somebody at Xbox, and Xbox would give him a free one. That's how cold blooded this is. Like that. Xbox will give him like, man, yeah, we got you. What you want? You want a color? You want the white? You want to, you know what I'm saying? Like, just because it's thing, it's just like, listen, man, it's part of advertising. Look at what we're bringing. Look at what we're presenting. You know what I'm saying? Maybe if you tried the Series X, you would probably say, okay, you know what? This device is really, really good. But for you not to have it, but to dog it out, because of the exclusive set, yeah, bro, come on, man. And you know, bringing up the stuff about the PC is like, you know, like PC, okay, whatever, we got you. But just say, if you just said, listen, I bought the PS Pro. I think it's just a better option since I know that Indiana Jones is coming to PlayStation 5, and then that would revert back to Xbox by killing off their momentum with a great game, and maybe even having a person consider wanting to buy an Xbox because you were so eager to get out there and have Jeff Keighley tell people, oh, look at this, man, we got PlayStation's gonna get Indiana Jones too. Now again, I get it. It's Disney. Disney probably said you need to do it. I would hope Disney did it. Some tells me I don't think it was. I think it was just bringing it out there, I guess. I don't know. But that's when people bring up stuff about, well, that kills Xbox momentum on console sales. That actually does. Because if you really want to get this, because Xbox has a whole treasure trove of games that's coming out. They're going to be running it when it comes to game exclusives, or I should say games. You don't know what's going to be exclusive, what's not. They can sit here and play the game so smart. They can have all types of people buying Xboxes. Because there was people that was wanting to go and buy an Xbox for Indiana Jones because the way that it looked, everything about it. Well, you killed that. And even though if you maybe sold 20, 50, 100,000, you know what I'm saying, you know, whatever, it's not like you're going to sell 1 million Xboxes, but the thing of it is that it's still, for each game that comes out, the more that they see these Xbox games comes out, and then you're over here presenting it as like, well, it's coming to PlayStation. On that level, when I disagree with most people when they say that Xbox is disappreciating itself on that, it does. It shouldn't have never done that. PlayStation never does that. We will never know, and the media do not even ask if a game is like Phantom Zero. Is anybody in the media asked if that game is a timed exclusive? No, they're not. So it's wild to me. It is definitely wild to me. Last point here, and that last thing, and this was about the exclusive, so I kind of rolled into it. Let's see. I might have to try to find that. Let's see. Let me. What did I got going on? Okay. Let me check this out. All right. So this time, let me get this right this time before anything else. I'm just gonna put it. I said anything, and I'm over here looking at all different types of stuff that I got over here. Yeah, I did get rid of it. Okay. Anyway, okay, there we go. There we go. Let's go ahead. All right, so the exclusive thing. I'm gonna try to look for that. Where it was one of these a gaming journalist that brought this up. It was pretty interesting, but they were saying, okay, so it's basically the whole thing about what's happened with PlayStation, and all these cancellations and the big moves about it. And so then I seen that like Jason Schreier brought up the fact of that, hey, Horizon Zero Dawn is not likely to be coming out very soon. If it might not. Like, I mean, especially it undersold, things like that. But it's not coming anytime soon. And there's a lot of games that's not going to be coming out soon. Single player games that's coming out soon. So like when you have all these people that saying it was the right decision to take away the live service games from PlayStation, what's going to fill the gap? What's going to fill the gap? And in between that time, the gap that they're going to be trying to fill it in is what Yoshida brought up, was saying like a lot of remasters, things like that. So you bring those, people get tired of that. Xbox will try to save the day because there's going to be Xbox games coming over there, and then they'll still have their third party and stuff like that. But the one crazy aspect of it is that and now, like I said, I'm going to look for it. I'm going to see if I can find it. I probably can't. But there is the exclusive era is right here, is almost over. PlayStation's got to make moves, because even if they got these ports, they come out with remasters and things like that. Where do you think those remasters and those and these other little older games or smaller games and titles, where they're going to go? They're going to go to PC. And they're going to go to consoles. Like, I know that people keep saying that, like, well, Xbox is not going to, PlayStation is never going to do this. Y'all said PlayStation would never put their first party. It went from third party, like when it was Nier Automata and all those other games and Yakuza and stuff like that. They said they were bragging about that and saying those games wouldn't come. Sony got those games locked down. That come to be false, because of course there was a lot of those games that were on before, but there was people that just didn't do the research, because there was a lot of people that was paying attention to it and seeing that there was some of those games that was already on a PC. But it moved to no first parties. No first parties would ever move to PC. Well, we already know the story of that. Now we get into the point to where, and Sony took some years to do it, and so now we're in this phase where they're talking about day and date, and that's going to eventually start changing. And then now the next topic, or the next point, is when is Sony going to start putting more games on other platforms? If they're going to try to hold on to do something with their first party games, yes, you won't see a God of War, and you might not see Uncharted on an Xbox anytime soon. But I wouldn't rule out PlayStation. I wouldn't rule out Spider-Man. I wouldn't rule it out. I wouldn't rule out now. I would not rule out now seeing maybe the X-Men game. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? This Venom game that's supposed to be coming out. I think that still will stay between PlayStation and PC. I really do think when we get to rolling and they start getting into these X-Men games, the Wolverine game, see, I think Disney's going to want their money, man. Disney's going to want their money. And now we over here talking this. That's why I brought up the fact about the $100 price, the $80 to $100 standard games. If Sony's going to sit here and really try to make that push, they will not survive just keeping it exclusive and then holding it for a year or two on PlayStation. It ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work, man. No, they do have to do that. They do have to do that. He says in August fan said Horizon 2 took 5 years to release. Of course, it wasn't going to come soon. Yeah, and they said that it all released exclusively on PlayStation 2017, and they all came to Xbox in 2018. And it said so. Like, listen, it is apparent that this is going to happen. It's not a time. It's not a if. It's a when. The age of the exclusive is fading right before our eyes. And like I said, I won't be able to find where, because it was deep somewhere where I saw it, and I didn't save it, I didn't clip it, or I didn't save it to where I raised it. But he was just asked, but it was a gaming journalist, and he asked the question. He's like, okay, so PlayStation made this right move, everybody agreed, but what does that do with PlayStation's game lineup going forward. What does that do to their exclusives? It breaks it. It breaks it. Yeah, they will hold on to their main three for as long as they possibly can. But this is the thing, and this is why when people that say it ain't gonna happen, they're never gonna have, they don't have to do it. This is what's gonna break the camel's back. If these rumors are true about Halo coming over to PlayStation, and these rumors is true that that Forza will come over to PlayStation, if these rumors are true about Gears of War, okay, that's Xbox's big three. They will all do well. They will all do well. Forza especially will kill it. And you know what Sony don't like to see? Their competition making money hand over fist. See, the rumors was back then that Xbox wasn't making any money off of these games going over to PC because, of course, PC numbers don't ever look as dramatic as console numbers. But somehow, some way, these games kept on coming to go into PC, and for some reason, Xbox profit and profit margin kept going up, and their revenue kept going up. To the point that Sony was like, yo, we gonna have to probably get a little bit of this ourselves. That's why I say that it's inevitable. Because if these games do come over to PlayStation and this is also games that will be taken away. See, the difference between a multiplayer, a live action game, and then a game that is a single player game. And this is something that Xbox has a stranglehold on that Sony cannot beat Xbox in. If there's one thing that Xbox cannot lose when it comes to PlayStation cannot beat Xbox in this category, it is live service games. Xbox kicks Sony's ass for it, and it has been. Sony has not found the formula to do it. They've said they did something with Helldivers 2, but it ain't no Halo. It ain't Gears. It ain't Forza. See, where Xbox, and this is easier for Xbox to try to break through, is to have single player games that can compete with PlayStation and generate great numbers. Well, Fable is coming up. Perfect Dark is coming up. Avowed is coming up. You know, I mean, we're hearing good things about Indiana Jones did good or whatever, right? I don't think anybody knows what's good or bad or indifferent these days about when it comes to sales. We just don't. We all speculate if we talk about this stuff. But Sony cannot beat Xbox in that category. So what this means is that when Xbox sits there and drops these games over there, if these rumors are true, if they drop the Master Chief Collection and the Gears Collection over there, that's going to be taken away. So right now, Sony don't have shit really coming up except for Ghost of Yoturi. And I guess Death Stranding. I mean, they have Phantom Zero, which looks dope. But those games are done. I mean, Lost Soul aside, ain't going to be a game that's going to. I can't wait to play that game. I'm looking forward to that game. That's a K-Mega can't wait to touch that game title. But that game is not going to generate the same type of buzz that Halo will or Gears will. You're talking about PlayStation gamers who maybe were Xbox gamers at one time, and now they're PlayStation gamers, and they haven't, and they don't buy Xbox no more. They're just fully locked in on PlayStation, and if they see that classics come back and they seeing that shit remastered, looking good and playing good, and they get that nostalgia again, what do you think they're gonna be spending more of their time on? Once that single player game is done, it's done until it gets DLC, which usually comes 6 months to a year after. Come on now. Yeah. Will PlayStation fans drop the Halo Master Chief Collection and Forza and what's that for, for Ghost of Yoturi? Of course. Because your touring is going to give you what, 200 hours at the most, and a lot of gamers don't play games like some of us maniacs, so they'll give it 30 to 80, and then guess where they're back on? Live service games. It may not have been Halo right then. It might be Fortnite, but it ain't on PlayStation. PlayStation ain't making the money. PlayStation ain't getting all the money that what they want, and you're giving money to Xbox. So again, Sony is going to see this, and Sony's like, you know what? We're gonna have to change some things up. We want those Xbox and Nintendo. We want those Xbox and those Nintendo weirdos money. We want it, just like we want those PC kids money as well. We want it all, and this is gonna be the end of it. And of course, the media is going to smooth it over, make it sound good and cute for the PlayStation fan base out there that is going to be irate and upset, and they're going to sugarcoat it, and then they're going to say, hey, here you go, take your medicine in this little sweet cupcake to make it smooth over for them. But the reality is this: exclusives are dead, Jack. It's over. You will have just a few. You will have a point where it's going to be more. It's going to be less exclusives and more multiplats all across the board coming up here. Okay, so what did you get? What did you get confused about, Fahim? You said, wait, what? And you know what I'm saying, so you got to write to me what do you think that I'm wrong about? Ocular Fan, he says it's not just live service games. Thinks ahead, then Sony follows them. Xbox started releasing games on PC, then Sony follows them. What do you think? What do you think is after that? No, that's what I'm saying. It's just going to be worded different. That's what I'm saying. Like, the media is going to sugarcoat it for Sony, because they're going to say, well, look at all the money that they spend on this to bring you these great games, and then these games going to take. And when they make these games take longer to make. These games ain't going to be made in 2 or 3 years, man. You're not going to get another Ghost of whatever in 3 years. You're going to get that shit in 5. Maybe more, because they might be using other assets, or it might take longer because of the fact that it's going to be on new hardware. So, come on, man. Come on, guys. Come on. Just read it. Just read and see the things that's going on right now. Like, if the live service things kicked off, Sony wouldn't have to. Sony could still hold on to what they're best at, and that's single player games. That's what they hold on to. But they cleaned house. It's all over. Like I said the other day, there was games that had really great potential. The Spider-Man live service game, the God of War live service game sounded kick-ass. The Faction sounded dope as hell. Twisted Metal, I would love to see what that would have been about. All that's gone. Now you got Marathon, and we don't even know what that's going to be. Concord. That's cooked. That's toast. That didn't even last a month. What are we doing here? Yeah, it may sound crazy. I know it may sound crazy. I've said these kind of crazy things in years past, and then when they come, I never get my flowers, and that's fine. I get my flowers from some people, but I don't get my flowers like I should. But I follow the trends, Jack. I don't follow these. I don't follow what these companies say. I follow the trend. I see how these things move. I see how it operates. And listen, I've been saying that I'm not a fan of what Xbox's move is, but I do understand it. And so I had to come and internalize for myself the reason why I will still remain an Xbox gamer is because, first, for one, I have a huge library of games that, and I'm a fan of Xbox ecosystem. And at the end of the day, yeah, I ain't gonna like it. I ain't gonna like when people showboat and show shit or whatever. But at the end of the day, it's not gonna turn off my Xbox because when I turn on my Xbox, I see all these games. So again, I had to internalize that. I sit there and, like I said, I felt the pain of a lot of Xbox gamers that felt like, man, come on, right when we got everything we need now to make this move. That's gone. That's out of there, Jack. Xbox is going to find another way to win. And they've been trying to tell, and they've been saying to us they hate the console war aspect of it. They've been wanting to get out of this console war jibber jabber for I don't know how many years. So now here we go. They had the opportunity to kick at PlayStation's ass and they failed. They had only one opportunity and they failed. Now they got to find another strategy. And I think this is a winning strategy. The question is PlayStation going to sit here and look on one side and see Nintendo doing the old traditional way and still succeeding and think that we can still do that? Or they look at Xbox and they say, we see a winning strategy there, but we still want to stay there. They can try to play hybrid and do both and all they want to, but but they got now a bad situation to where they don't have anything really substantial coming up except for non-first party stuff. That's a problem. That's a problem. I mean, it was a problem for Xbox. You mean to tell me it's not a problem for PlayStation? I mean, that's the reason why, right? That we buy a PlayStation, we buy an Xbox is for first party content, right? So listen, man, it's right here, right in our face. Okay, so let me read what you got, what you said, Fahim. You said, it's not Halo. Do you realize that's right? What's not Halo? Oh, so you thinking that Halo makes money, Jack? You think if you put Halo, and listen, I'm just going by what the media is speculating. I have no idea. I said this. I think it would be crazy to put Halo, Gears, and Forza on PlayStation. But if you put them on there, people are going to play them. It's not like, you know what I'm saying? And hell, and don't let any of those 3 games be in the top 10 on PlayStation charts, like Sea of Thieves was for a little while. That's gonna be, man. Do you know how much money that they would make? Because that means gamers are buying skins. They're playing on Xbox's servers. They're not playing PlayStation. They're just playing PlayStation controller, but. Nah, bro. No. So I also, you saying right here, Lost Soul Aside and Phantom Blade Zero are nowhere the same as Halo. No, they're not. And that's why I'm saying to you, that's because that's all Sony really has to offer. Hold on, let me go ahead and let me show you these games right here. Look at this right here. Okay, so here this dude over here trying to fight for PlayStation's life here, talking about their games, right? Oh, hold on, damn it. I gotta go back. All right, there we go. All right, hold on. Let's get it. Here we go. All right. This reminds me when it was a sparse moment, right? Okay, so he's talking about the game since release in 2024. He's talking about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. That's not PlayStation. That's a exclusive to PlayStation console, but it's not a PlayStation first party game. Astrobot, that's first party. Stellar Blade, that's not first party. They just bought the rights to it. That's coming to PC pretty soon. Final Fantasy's coming here Thursday. I already bought it. Helldivers 2, that was day and date on PC. Okay. We can sit there and say, I guess we can count that as a first party game. I think it is a first party game for them. Silent Hill 2 remake, that's not a first party title for them. Rise of Ronin, that's not a first party too. Both of those games, Ronin's coming to PC. Silent Hill is already on PC, or it's on sale. I saw that on GG Deals. Pacific Drive. I mean, I don't know what the hell that is. Do you know what that is? Okay, so let's move on. Concord. And more. Okay, so what's the more? What's the more? That was last year. Okay, there was no more. What's that? Foam Stars? That wasn't. Hold on. Is Tunica? I think that's the name of that game. Was that a first party? People in chat, please let me know. Is that a first party PlayStation game? Because if it is, it's on Xbox. But I don't know if it's PlayStation first party, made by a first party studio, I should say. Because if it is, it's on Xbox. So Anyway, okay, so we got what was going on here in 2025, right? So he's over here talking about Ghost of Yuturi. We don't even know if that's actually going to come out in 2025. Hopefully that it does. It will be great. Death Stranding 2. Do we know that that's dropping out this year? Do we know? Lost Soul Aside was supposed to come out in 2021. Hopefully it'll come out this year. It's supposed to be coming out this year. So Ballad of Athena of Athera, I think that's what Athera. That's the game that I think that Chili saying he was excited about. Baby Steps, The Midnight Walk, and more. Okay, so out of those games, which one is first? How many of those are first party? None, because you know Death Stranding 2 is going to come to Xbox. So that is it. What are we talking about here? So that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, you got this. There's only, let's just be real here. Like, that's the thing. That's the one thing. I'm like, listen, I'll let y'all decide this, but I'm gonna bring my opinion piece on this. Okay, so you got these games right here. Let's just say that Ghost of Yuturi, Death Stranding, Lost Soul Aside, this Ballad game, Baby Steps, Midnight Walk, drop this year for PlayStation, right? And then Xbox, and if the rumors is true that Xbox will drop, Gears Collection, Halo Collection, and Forza 5, and Starfield. Yo, come on now. There's only really, I'm saying I'm going to give it 3 games, but there's really only 2 games that's going to outshine those those Xbox games if those rumors are true. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not like it's God of War going up against Halo. It's not like it's Spider-Man going up against Gears or The Last of Us or a new Last of Us or a new Gran Turismo up against Forza 5 or Forza Motorsport. We're talking about 2 games that has an opportunity to really make shit pop. And I don't know if Death Stranding 2 will do a lot better than what it did the first time. But I can't tell you that Death Stranding 2 is gonna outshine a Gears War collection. That's what I'm trying to say here, people. That's the whole point. Okay, so you saying that they ain't worried about us. They want the money, period. No, bro. Sony is worried. That's what I'm trying to say to you. Sony is fine with having it because it gives the perception, because the media and the content creators and all of that will be sitting here just, oh, look at this, Xbox is giving us their games. Look at that, they blah 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 blah. We won. Wow. If these things is over here dropping over here and people are playing the hell out of Halo, Gears, Forza, and Starfield, and they ain't putting the time on these other games that they got here when they spent money to keep Lost Soul Aside exclusive. They got, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure that Death Stranding 2, well, now, I don't know. Death Stranding 2 might be a day and date, might come to, they might do a year exclusivity thing. I don't know. I think it might just come at the same time. We'll see. But all these other games that they sit there and they paid for or to advertise and everything else for perks and things like that, and you're telling me some old ass games like that gonna get more shine, make more money because they're live service and single player? Like I said, something that Xbox kicks the dog shit out of with PlayStation. You got problems. You got really big problems. You got really big problems over there. So we'll see. We'll see. I don't. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I see the stands over here throwing this stuff. And listen, hey, listen, these 3 games in a row right here. Now I got to look at some more of this Ballad of Antera. I got to see some more about that. Like I'm really going to get me over here interested in this, and I'm pretty sure I've seen something with it or whatever. But we'll see. But this, oh man, yeah, I can't wait. Well, Death Stranding, I need to beat the first one. So I can't say I can't wait for this. These 2 right here, I'll say right here. I don't know anything about the Midnight Walk. Oh, I did see that. That looked great. Actually, I think I seen on the state of play. That looked really really good. But hell, I don't even think that that's an exclusive. I think that that's going everywhere. So I don't know. Baby steps they can have that. So anyway, all I'm saying on this is Xbox had a lineup like this, and PlayStation has an upcoming lineup that we knew that we knew okay like how Xbox has their lineup and what they're coming with. We know we know the slate, right? Like we know that the new Gears is coming, Fable, South of Midnight, Avowed, um, uh, Perfect Dark, Doom game. I mean, and more, right? Like we'll just say those eight. We know we got a good template. Oh, the Outer Worlds is dropping, so we know that there's a good 10 games that's going to be dropping here, right? On top of that, because I just said the Gears Year One game or whatever. Uh, I didn't even bring up the Master Chief Collection or um the Gears collection, right? Like, well, we already got the Master Chief collection, so I don't think if they do the remake or something like that, so that'll be another one. Whatever. That's about 10 to 12 games, right? And and let's just reverse this, and let's just say that PlayStation had 10 to 12 games that we know that's coming down the pipeline. We've seen the game. We seen that. We're going to get a PlayStation state of play here on Thursday that's going to show these games and what's going to be coming out in 2025, and then Xbox gamers show this. Bro, Xbox gamers they're not going to get cooked, but they're going to be like, man, there's only like two hot, maybe three hot potential games. And the other games is going to be unknowns. We don't know if, I mean, hell, I'm really excited about Lost Soul Aside, but not everybody else is going to be excited about it on PlayStation. You know what I mean? So you know what I'm saying? This ballot, like I said, I'm going to check out ballot, but it's really two games. You have a group of people that love baby steps, but for the most part, yeah, come on, man, come on. So it would be Xbox having two strong hitters against up to PlayStation dropping 10 to 12 hitters. You know how that we would have doom and gloom all over again. But now it's reverse. Xbox got 10 to 12 bangers dropping within the next year and a half, next 2 years for sure. Come on, man. And you got this, and we don't even know if Death Stranding is actually coming out this year. So I don't know, brother. I don't know. I just think that you know what I'm saying? Yeah, and see again, that's what Yobi is over here saying. Xbox Direct is Thursday. Sony's showcase wasn't announced yet. So listen, man, we and there's people that's supposed to be insiders, and then there's other people that's out there that wants to cause chaos and make Xbox gamers not be excited for what's coming here. I know that there's I guess more rumors that their fourth game is going to be Ninja Gaiden or something like that. We'll find out. We'll see. That would be incredible. I'm going to still stick with what I said that it could be Black Myth. I also thought before I started the stream was that hey, it could be the Master Chief. I mean the not Master Chief, but the Phoenix Collection or whatever. It could be that. I mean, we don't know, and that's the thing right there is that we're Xbox gamers. We should be excited as hell for this moment where we now have the game. We don't have to talk about where's the games. We got them. They're here, man. They're upon us. On top of everything else that we get with Game Pass and things like that. Like our priorities as gamers, we are spoiled. We are very spoiled. We're very spoiled. You can't sit here and say that you're not because it's not like, for instance, I was seeing somebody trying to make an excuse about when I was complaining about the article about the guy saying that he wasn't going to buy he wasn't going to buy Xbox. He was going to play Indiana Jones on his PlayStation 5. Was bringing up like I don't like Game Pass and I don't like so you don't like a slew of games to pick from. That don't sound like no gamer to me. I mean, let's just be real about that. Like, if somebody came to you and said, "Man, I had for $18, for $18, or for I don't know, $60, for $60 for 3 to 6 months, I will let you go through my library and pick between 300 to 400 games, anywhere from I would say 200 to 400 games, and there's new games that rotate in every month." What gamer is not going to sit there and say, "Well, bro, what's the catch?" No, man, just give me this little bread right here, man. And well, what if I want those games? What if I want them? You can buy them at a discount. What? At a discount? See, put this in perspective. See, that's what I'm saying. Xbox gamers, we're spoiled. We got it good. We just don't. We just want it all, and that's fine. I get it. As an Xbox gamers, last gen we got our ass kicked by just all different directions because of all different types of weird stuff. But now when you look at how we enjoying gaming, we are spoiled. We get a lot of good content, and we're bitching about sales numbers. Like that's to me, it's like if Xbox is not saying, "Listen, man, we're shutting down shop. Game Pass is going to decrease. We're not going to get new games day and date, or if our new first party exclusives, you're going to have to wait 6 months for that." If we start hearing that type of stuff, then that's time for concern. We keep hearing that, and we keep hearing that everything is fine. Software is higher than it's ever been. Now, could it be spin? Could it be lies? It could be. Who knows? But that's for them to sit there and to keep lying to us, to keep us, because as long as these games is here, the more I keep looking at them like, man, why can't I? Well, I'm not going no damn where else. What to play? It's so bit of a backlog. Man, just for me, just wanting to play the stuff that's on my Xbox alone is going to take forever to catch up on. So, and then there's new content. Man, Sniper, Sniper 5 is dropping here at the end of the month. I'm, oh man, what are we doing here? You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, as a fighter fan, what you call is going to be dropping here pretty soon too. The Virtual Fighter game is going to be dropping. Like, I mean, there's content all over the place. Now, unfortunately, it's not on Xbox yet, and I'm wondering if this is kind of like a test to see if there's going to be enough gamers that wants to buy it to want to. So the Xbox, of course, sadly, will be the last one, because the first place was the showdown for PlayStation. I think that was 2-3 years ago, something like that, maybe even longer than that, maybe 4 years. It's been a minute when Showdown first dropped on the PlayStation. And so now you got this Revo thing that's here on PC. So I think that they're just testing to see if there's still enough likeness and awareness, and then also getting data for things for setting up for the new Virtual Fighter, and then eventually Xbox could be getting this. Hopefully, we'll see. We'll see. Let me see. Hey, my man said, Richili said, "Please, K Mega, I don't want to see Baby Steps cheeks." Okay, all right, I do got them cheeks just slapping right up there, just right there. All right, man, let me get back to that gameplay. All right, my bad. Anyway, so but that's the thing I'm talking about right there. Is come on, man. And listen, that's the whole thing to it, to where it's like, we're spoiled. If you really think about this, and let's put that in perspective. This is going to be my last point before we get out of here. If you really put this in perspective of saying, look, a person, a homeboy, or somebody you trust, or whatever, just somebody, that's got a library of games and they keep bringing in new games all the time. And man, they say, man, the only thing I want is this a little bit amount of money every month. Who's going to turn that down that's a gamer? So when you hear that these stands that get out here and say Game Pass is blah, 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 it hurts the industry. What? How is it hurting the industry to play a game that you probably wouldn't even buy until it's like 99 cents, $2, $5, maybe $15? If you even had concern to play it in the first place. Then on top of that, there's games that you probably would never ever play in your lifetime, but it's like they're available and you're like, let's give it a shot. I'm a little bored. I don't want to play this. I don't want to play my regular, regular games that I normally play. Let me try something different. And then you fall in love with it. And then it's a brand new franchise or something that you like, Civilization or something of that nature, right? Like Halo Wars or something like that, right? That when people say that to me about that they don't like Game Pass, that just makes me think that are you really gaming like you say you do? Because I like the more games, the better. Like when you sit there and you see my stats every year, like no, I ain't beating 200 in some games, but I'm damn sure going to touch and play on others. And then if I know that I really like it, I'm going to buy that game eventually. Maybe not buy it right then and there. If the price is right, yeah. But for the most part, it's going to be in my library for me to mess with it later on down the line. Because there will be a point to where it's going to, and I said this year, I'm not going to buy as many games as I have been for the last previous years. And so I can catch up on some old stuff. But that's the thing to me is that's what it's all about is that like I've never really had the opportunity to build a library of games like that because, GameStop was trifling, but we all fell for it. So, it is what it is. But anyway, yeah, that Virtual Fighter is pretty good. I got to sit there and got to keep it pushing. But anyway, yeah, Sniper Resistance, Assassin's Creed Shadows, Kingdom Come Deliverance. Yeah, like you know what I'm saying? Like it's just like Sean G just said. He says we are so spoiled. I feel like I'm stealing, bro. That's how I feel every time that I'm on Xbox and I go through Game Pass and I'm seeing something that I'm downloading. I feel it, bro. I'm like, yo, we coming up. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, man, I do. I feel that year. Golly, what it was the year that had Psychonauts. It was a Psychonauts, and even though I bought oh man, Jesus, getting old. This is what happens when you get close to 50. Oh man, I love the game so much. It's the anime with where you play as the girl and the dude, and it's from Bandai Namco. Anyway, that game eventually came to Game Pass as well. But I bought it, but I was playing with that, playing other games, and it was just great, man. It was just great. I'm getting a call. So that means I'm gonna have to get on out of here because obviously that might be saying somebody asking me if I need something or whatever. So let's see. Okay. Anyway, but yeah, be back to find something. We'll find something to talk about. It was fun. So, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, you just put it in perspective when people keep saying that they don't like Game Pass. That's just ridiculous. Because gamers were spoiled. And listen, for having PSN, you're spoiled as well. There's still games like it's not as good as Game Pass. No, not by a long shot, but it's still good. Because there's some good quality games that come on PSN. And I don't feel the same way as like I'm stealing or anything like that. But it still feels good to see that there's games there that I can that I could jump into that maybe I wanted to have for my PlayStation, but then just didn't want to pay the money for it. But I can sit there and I can add that. So yeah, it's a win-win for everybody. I just say when people say it about Game Pass, it's wild. All right, guys, thank you so much, man. If you are new to the channel, please, man, subscribe, man. I will do these my thoughts videos around 2:30, 3 o'clock every day, except for Thursday. I will be doing Fight Night on Thursday, and of course, Fight Night on Sunday. I'll be streaming. I'll probably be streaming some fighters tonight. Ain't gonna be any sports that's worth me watching, so I plan on jumping on. You know what I'm saying? Something. The new character. I think Conan dropped tonight on Mortal Kombat. If you really want to watch me get my ass whooped, then watch me because I want to play that, and I want to play Corrupt, and I'm probably going to play some what you call it as well. So I will be. Hold on, let me go ahead because this is the time. Hello. Yeah. Yeah. Uh huh. Okay. Where is he at? Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. All right. Bye. All right. I knew when I got called multiple times, I'm like, okay. Anyway. All right. Well, I gotta get out here anyway. So thank you guys so much. I will see you guys tomorrow, or well, tonight if you want to see me play some Mortal Kombat. See what this Conan is like. I haven't played Mortal Kombat in months. Jesus Christ, this is gonna be the beat. That's okay though. It's gonna be fun. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. See you guys tomorrow and tonight if you come to check, come through, or tomorrow. Peace.